Namaste and good morning. This is Guru Swami-G, and I wanted to bring attention to something yet again from the Nitya Spin Dom crowd, and it has to do with their program of the Kundalini, which they call Nithya Kriyas. Okay. And the reason I want to talk with this is that I am a Kundalini adept, a Kundalini master, one that has gone through the whole of the Kundalini journey from beginning to end. I have also gone to Nityananda directly and told him what he is doing is dangerous. And so this is again, for the Nityananda people that say I should sit in his presence. There is no reason for me to sit in his presence. I'm the real deal, okay? I'm the real deal. There's nothing he has that he can give here. Absolutely nothing. And in fact, I have gone, like I said before, I have gone there and directly confronted him, person to person, face to face, to tell him what he is doing is dangerous. Okay? So now he says, and I quote, that a significant distinction of Nithya Kriya is the safe and scientific awakening of Kundalini energy in the practitioner. This is his statement. A significant distinction of Nithya Kriya is the safe and scientific awakening of the Kundalini energy in the practitioner. Well, in just a matter of moments, you will find out that what he is saying on the surface, yet again, is vastly different than what's behind the scenes. And this will become very abundantly clear as we go through this video. Now, what it takes to be a Kundalini master, it means that one has awakened the Kundalini at a young age and has progressed through the whole of the system. Okay, at the end of the journey, one knows what it does, what it doesn't do. One knows by direct experience what it does, what it doesn't do. Now, in Nityananda's case, if you read about it, it will say that he has read all these texts and that now so he can get the correct understanding, and now he's going to respin it for the modern man, as if the modern man is any different than any other human. Again, mind is mind, and all of the problems that mankind has been there since the beginning. Nothing has changed in that. And there's one thing to know about a subject, and that's what somebody that has to read these different texts and try to interpret it and then retry to spin it is somebody that knows about a subject. They don't have direct knowledge of it. Okay, he also goes on to say that he has tried out these methods on himself, and he tries it out on some of his students for 21 days to see the outcome. So he's using some of his students as guinea pigs for 21 days. Well, anybody that's in the midst of genuine Kundalini awakening knows in 21 days not much is going to happen. You're not going to know the outcome of awakening Kundalini in somebody in 21 days. These are years. It takes years to progress to realization. And again, this idea that I've tested it out, you know, on people and tested it out for 21 days really is not valid. It's not it's not something that one would do. Okay, as well as he says he's using it for healing. And this is really unethical at the least, because once Kundalini is awakened, it's awakened and it doesn't shut down. And you can't awaken it to use for specifically for one thing and then walk away from it. Once it's awakened, it's going through the consciousness, it's going to bring up all the fears, it's going to bring up all of this stuff, internal subconscious stuff, to be seen and navigated through. And this can be very dangerous for one that doesn't know the journey. And these ones that are using it as a way of healing and touting it as that are really being unethical. They're not being forthcoming, and they're not being genuine in what is being done. Okay. In his other video, you can hear where he said specifically, I'm not working much on Kundalini, I'm working on the third eye. That's my focus, the third eye. Why? Because he doesn't know. He does not know the ins and outs of Kundalini. And this is again why I went to him specifically to say, stop it. And his answer to me was, I'll take care of it later. Oh well, so I awaken it and you're telling me this is dangerous. I'll take care of it later. Well, let me show you how he's going to take care of it. And you're not going to believe this one. Got to bring it up because I want to give it absolutely directly what it's saying 100%. I will read this and you'll be able to then read it for yourself. So anyway, it says that he's restoring Hatha Yoga to the world. You know, that Nithya Kriya is a series of healing yogic processes revealed by Nityananda. Well, yoga's been around for centuries. Hatha has been around for centuries. There's nothing major that he's revealing. 9 out of 10, he stole these from that one guy, what's his name, Ram something. Again, that I've had a lot of problem because the same thing, he uses it for healing and has a little disclaimer on the bottom. And oh, by the way, this can awaken Kundalini. Okay. So now we'll get to this, the statement of consent and agreement. This is the Nithya Kriya, informed consent, release of liability, waiver of legal rights, and assumption of risk. It says, read the following information carefully. This is a legal document that affects your legal rights. Okay? Now, I don't know of any genuine Kundalini adept guru, Shaktipat guru, that has people come in and sign this type of a document. It's not done. I have never seen this done. And why is this done? Because he doesn't know what he's doing. Point blank. Bottom line. And that will become abundantly clear as we go through this contract. Now, this contract is from the state, at the bottom of it, it says from the state of California. 9 out of 10, you know, I don't know if it's people have to sign it also in foreign countries. Maybe not. Doesn't mean it's any less dangerous there. It just means he's able to spin things and tie up things in the court much more easily than he can do in the States. In the States, the court system is very costly. In India, it's not. That's it. Here, you know, if he gets embroiled in a court case, it's going to be more devastating than it is to be done in India or elsewhere in the world. So anyway, let's continue forward, and I will read you the document you have to sign if you are going to participate in this, and we'll go through it, and I will make some comments as we go, because this is absolutely, utterly astounding that anyone would go forward and sign such a thing. Acknowledgement and informed consent. I understand that I am a voluntary and willing participant of Nithya Kriya, the program. I acknowledge that I have been fully informed of the risks and dangers involved in the program and other related activities. Well, the only place you're going to be informed of it is in this document, because anything that he says on any of the sites that has to do with this program, it's safe, it's scientific, it's going to heal you, you know, all of these things he's stating. But yet here it says, I'm informed of the risks and dangers. Well, let's see what we're going to get into. I also state that I'm physically and mentally capable of carrying out any instructions, yoga postures, meditations, techniques, or other activities that are part of the program. I agree to consult with my physician prior to participating in the program and seek medical advice if I know or suspect that my physical or mental condition may limit my ability to participate safely in the program, as no part of program is intended to be a substitute for professional medical treatment or advice. Now, wait a minute. I thought this was to do with healing. But this is not intended to be part of your medical treatment or advice. So already, in the first thing, he's already got his out. If you don't get healed, well, this is really not supposed to be part of your medical thing. Okay? So let's continue to go forward and see what he's really offering here. Assumption of risk. I am aware that some of the program's activities involve unavoidable risks and dangers of serious bodily injury. Wait a minute, he just said, no, it's safe. It's safe. It's scientific. And yet here behind the scenes, what this is saying, unavoidable risks and dangers of serious, not light, serious bodily injury, including permanent. This is not going to go away. Permanent disability, paralysis, and death. Well, I'd say that's pretty permanent. So what happened to this safe? It's safe, it's scientific. But you can have permanent disability, paralysis, and death. And I'm voluntarily participating in these activities with the knowledge of the danger involved. I agree to assume complete liability and responsibility for any and all risks of bodily injury, death, all forms of mental distress, property losses, or other damages occurring as a result of or in connection with the program, whether those risks are known or unknown. Okay, this means he doesn't inform you of it beforehand. If you wind up having a psychotic break, which you can have, it's quite possible, and this is the problem with the dangers of awakening Kundalini and not knowing what you're doing and doing third eye things, you can have a psychotic break. It's not a joke. There are a lot of people that are in mental hospitals because of this. And yet, he's telling the people It's safe. I'm going to heal you. And yet, behind the scenes, here, just sign this. Again, these are not the actions of a Kundalini adept, master, guru, that's a Shaktipat guru. I have never seen such a thing as this being put out. But maybe this has been put out after I have gone and told him absolutely what he is doing is dangerous and he would take care of it later. I see how he's taking care of it later. This is his idea of taking care of it later? Unbelievable. So let's continue with this. Oh, it just keeps getting better. I assure you it gets better as we go. Release of liability and waiver of claims. In consideration of my participation in the program on my own behalf and on behalf of my heirs, personal representatives, and assigns, I hereby agree to forever release, waive, discharge, and covenant not to sue Dhyanpita Charitable Trust, Life Bliss Foundation Incorporated, Sri Nityananda Swami, aka Paramahamsa Nityananda Swami-G, satsang coordinators, the acharyas, teachers, their volunteers, and or anyone else directly or indirectly involved in sponsoring, hosting, administrating, marketing, organizing, managing, or conducting the program collectively releases to the maximum extent allowed by law for any and all claims or demands arising out of any injury, including death, in parentheses, including death, any form of mental distress, property loss, or other damages related to my participation in the program, including but not limited to injuries, losses, or damages caused by the negligence or acts of the releasees or others, the condition of the premises in which the program occurs, whether or not I am then participating in the program. Okay, so forever. So you may be there and participating in it. Kundalini gets awakened, and a few years down the road, because you don't have reliable guidance, you don't have reliable instruction, you wind up having a psychotic break. You wind up hospitalized for mental problems. But yet, he's not culpable because you've signed this contract. Oh, and it just keeps getting better. I further agree to indemnify and hold harmless all releasees from all claims, judgments, demands, or costs, including attorney fees incurred in connection with any action brought as a result of my participation in the program. I understand that all blessings, now you're going to love this, the blessings, instructions, teachings, and suggestions made as part of the program are purely in a spiritual capacity and are not intended to be any sort of guarantee or definitive statement about the past, present, or future. So it's all bullshit. Okay? It's just whatever spiritual crapola I want to spin out there, but it really has nothing to do with anything, the past, present, or future. I can't hold any of it accountable anywhere. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let's continue with this. I love this part. I understand that in connection with the program, the releasees do not make any claims, promises, or guarantees about the individual group outcome of the program or its related services. We're not guaranteeing anything. We're not guaranteeing what we're telling you is honest or true. We're not guaranteeing anything. And you take the risk of mental problem, death, paralysis, and we guarantee nothing. We don't even say anything we say is right. Absolutely nothing. I've never seen anything like this in my life. What the heck kind of a guru puts something like this out? Dispute resolution. I agree that all disputes and differences arising between the parties of this agreement which cannot be mutually resolved shall be referred to the arbitration administered by American Arbitration Association. The decision of such an arbitrator shall be binding on the parties. I expressly agree that this waiver and release is intended to be as broad and inclusive as permitted by the laws of the state of California. I'm covering my ass in every single which way possible, and you're screwed. That's it. Yet I'm going to sit here and tell you it's safe. I'm going to sit here and tell you it's scientific. I'm going to sit here and tell you it's going to heal you. I'm going to sit here and lie through my teeth about how many have been healed. And according to this document, so what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All the risk is yours. All the risk is yours. So I intend this release to be complete and unconditional release of all liability, again, to the greatest extent allowed by law. If any portion hereof is held invalid, the remainder shall continue in full force and effect. If you find one little part of this that you can find a loophole in order to sue them in some way, the rest of it's going to still hold up. It's not going to make null and void the rest of the contract. Trust me, this snake has had lawyer after lawyer after lawyer find every single loophole they can find to close up any way, shape, or form that you can raise any kind of objection. I understand I'm giving up substantial rights by granting this release. I'm giving up my rights. My continuing forward and watching the program expressly affirms, even if you watch it and you don't sign it, it affirms that I have read and understood the above waiver. If I watch the program, I say, okay, I've already read this and understood the above waiver and release, and I voluntarily, freely, without duress, agree to its terms, that I have full right and authority to sign this form and that I am not a minor. By continuing forward, you acknowledge and agree to the informed consent. So there you have it. There you have it. There's your wonderful guru that you're following. Yet again, what is wrong with people? These are not the actions of a guru. That is not the action of a guru. That's a businessman, a con, a liar, a cheat, and somebody that is sitting up there proclaiming that they have all this knowledge that they do not have. And again, this is why I went to him specifically and told him what he is giving is dangerous. And the outcome is, I'll handle it later. I see the way he's handling it. He's continuing to give it. It's continuing to be dangerous. And the only thing he's done to handle it is to try to cover his ass, just like the tantric sexual thing he had people sign. And he lies about that, and he lies about this. And the more I see him, the more that it's clear that there is no truth in this man whatsoever. He's a danger to others. And if he keeps doing this, he is a danger to himself as well. So that's it. Again, I'm here to bring and disclose and reveal what's there. And hopefully it will save somebody from going forward into what could be very detrimental to themselves emotionally, physically, mentally. I am so tired as a guru of having to take on the burdens and the things that these charlatan gurus leave people with. People come to me all the time because they're in the throes of Kundalini. It's gotten awakened, and they've been left high and dry and are in absolute states of paranoia and imbalance. And I have to come around and clean up these other gurus' messes. Okay? So, again, save yourself some heartbreak, save yourself. Understand that Kundalini is not a magic cure-all. Yes, when it awakens, it can bring changes. It can absolutely make changes in the form, and it can be innate in some ways, but also you're playing with fire. Every text will tell you never awaken Kundalini without having a guru there that is going to guide you through. And I'm not talking about some Fakaka 21-day course or whatever it is that he's doing. I mean, it takes a lifetime commitment, because once it's really awakened, it's on 24/7. There's no day off for it. There's no off switch for it. This is why in the old days, dealing with Kundalini, they had to make sure you were ready for it, because it's a fire, it's a double-edged sword. It can be quite dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Again, you can wind up dead. You can wind up in a mental institution. This is nothing to play with. Especially not with somebody like Nitya Spin Dom. Okay? So for those that have Nitya Dom or whatever their greed is, Nitya Spin Dom to you, because, again, Lord help us that we have people like that, and that people are following him and clapping over everything he says, and they have no wisdom to know that what he is giving, especially in this case, can be not only detrimental. This is serious. One can wind up mentally ill in a hospital, dead. Okay. So namaste. Let's use some wisdom, people. And please, don't believe everything at face value. When you see things like this, wake up. Don't walk towards the door, run. run. And don't let it hit you on the way out. Just run. Get out of there. Get out of there. Namaste.